6 days ago, a plane took off from an airport that did not exist 8 months ago. Air India Express, Navi Mumbai to Abu Dhabi. The first international flight out of India's newest airport. And it is the smallest thing Mumbai is building right now. Because at this exact moment, Mumbai is running 5 enormous infrastructure projects at the same time. A bullet train, a slum redevelopment housing more than 1 million people, a metro line connecting 2 international airports, a sea bridge, a coastal expressway. No city on earth is attempting more at once. Here is the question nobody is asking, not whether Mumbai is building. It obviously is. The question is whether any of it actually finishes on time. So we are going to score them, one by one. On track, at risk, or unproven. And that matters more than it sounds, because we have watched the other version of this story. Saudi Arabia announced a city 170 kilometers long. Today, construction is halted until after 2030, and the population target has been cut by 93%. Mumbai made quieter promises. Let's see if it kept them. Project 1, the bullet train. 508 kilometers, Mumbai to Ahmedabad, built on Japanese Shinkansen technology, designed for 320 kilometers per hour. It cuts a 7-hour journey down to roughly 2 hours. The physical numbers are real. 435 kilometers of piers, 345 kilometers of viaduct, 5 river bridges finished, 2 mountain tunnels driven straight through the hills of Maharashtra. But here is the part that gets left out of most coverage. India's own Ministry of Statistics tracked physical progress at 56% as of November 2025. The full corridor is targeted for 2028 or 2029. That means roughly half the project has to be delivered in about a third of the remaining schedule. There is one more twist. The line will not open with Japanese trains. India will run an indigenous high-speed train first, developed by BEML and the Integral Coach Factory, with the prototype targeted for March 2027. Japan's next-generation Shinkansen arrives in the early 2030s. A partial section, Surat to Vapi, is expected in 2027. Verdict: at risk. The concrete is real. The schedule is not. Project 2, Dharavi, 590 acres in the center of Mumbai, Asia's largest informal settlement, and something most coverage misses entirely. A working economy, leather, textiles, pottery, food processing, recycling, thousands of production units feeding Mumbai's supply chains. The plan is to rehouse more than 1 million people in over 125,000 homes. Half inside Dharavi, half spread across 6 other areas in the wider Mumbai region. The structure is a partnership. Adani holds 80%, the government of Maharashtra 20%. Adani won it in 2022 with a bid of 5,069 crore rupees, and the Bombay High Court upheld that award in December 2024. 95 million square feet goes to rehabilitation, but 130 million square feet is unlocked as free sale real estate, roughly 5 kilometers from Mumbai's central business district. That ratio is why this project is argued about. It is housing, and it is also one of the largest land plays in Indian history. The first real test is close. The first building, on land belonging to Indian Railways, is targeted for handover in December 2026. 30,000 more units are meant to be under construction in the following financial year. Verdict: unproven. Nothing has been handed over yet. 5 months to the first one. Project 3. The Gold Line. This one is brand new. On the 27th of January 2026, the Maharashtra Cabinet approved Metro Line 8. The Gold Line. 22,862 crore rupees, 35 kilometers connecting Mumbai's old airport directly to the new one. 20 stations, 14 elevated, 6 underground. It is built as an express corridor, deliberately fewer stops to keep the trains fast. Today, that journey takes 90 minutes to 2 hours in traffic. The Gold Line targets 30. Verdict: unproven. Approved 6 months ago. Reported timelines run from 2028 to 2031, and that spread tells you everything about how early this is. But before we call this a city of promises, look at what has already opened. The Atal Setu, India's longest sea bridge, is carrying traffic. The coastal road is open, and the new airport is not a render. Navi Mumbai International opened to domestic flights on the 25th of December, 2025. In roughly 7 months, it has connected 46 domestic destinations and handled more than 2.3 million passengers, running around 150 aircraft movements a day. 6 days ago, it went international. That is the difference. Mumbai has things you can already stand inside. So, the scorecard. 2 projects delivered and operating, 1 at risk, 2 unproven with their first real deadlines inside the next 12 months. That is not a flop. It is not a triumph either. It is a city making an enormous bet on execution in public on a clock. Watch December 2026. First Dharavi handover. That single building tells you whether the rest of this is real. And if you want to see what happens when a city makes the opposite bet, when the promises get bigger and the concrete never arrives, I broke down exactly how Saudi Arabia quietly killed the line. Same ambition, very different ending. It's on screen now.